Welcome back to WHF Tier 3. We are in round 5 of the season tonight, and we're at Zandvoort Reversed. This could be a chaotic race. I'm Jedi, and we're joined alongside tonight by Jiggle. Good evening.
Good evening to you too. Now, Netherlands Reverse isn't exactly a track you'd often see in league racing, so seeing it today, there is a feeling of mystery. No one really knows how to drive this properly. This isn't a track people really practice on the daily, so I'm feeling that this race could be a bit chaotic.
Certainly, and not just that, but I mean, to me, every time I've raced in Zandvoort, the normal way around has been chaos. Throw in the aspect, like you said, of not really anyone practices or really races reverse. Throw that in, could be even more carnage. Only 13 drivers tonight. That could other people have thought that is going to be carnage as well. But we're here and we're ready to go racing as. Good evening and bog greetings. As let's get the track map up and we'll update you up. But I've got to remember that we're in reverse. It's 11, no sorry, not 11, it's 10 left-handers and 4 right-handers to this lap tonight. I don't really know what that means for the drivers, but
I'm sure they
it's
will be
gonna...
thinking about it.
Oh, definitely. I mean, tyre wear, maybe... I don't even know what the tyre wear is like on the reverse layout of this track, whether it's worse than normal or not, but...
Probably be the
interesting.
reverse of the normal layout.
Yeah, you'd think it'll be thereabouts of the normal layout. The one thing I have noticed just riding on board with Creamy on this lap is you really notice the banking in that what would normally be the final corner here.
Yeah, it's you really get a different perspective when driving it the other way around. The banking is much steeper than you anticipate, and going into it too hard could lead to a huge mistake in the race.
Oh, definitely. I don't want to say it now, but I think someone will find the wall there by going in a bit too hot into that corner. But we're about to get Creamy starting the first lap of this session, and the area which I think is going to catch someone out most tonight is that pit entrance. It's an awkward one, but Creamy starting the first lap of this qualifying session, coming down into the banking of turn 1, through turn 1, straight up slightly into turn 2. Now straight run down towards turn 3, and now through 4, and then it's straight towards the end of the sector. DRS open, it's a 20.5. Now down towards turn 5 and 6. I may have miscounted the corners, I can't remember, but into the left hander now, as this would normally be about midway through the first sector, coming to the end of the second sector now. It's not been a bad lap from the Racing Motor, 45.572 in the first 2 sectors, but now down into the banking of what's normally turn 4, then it's back uphill slightly, and now into the final corner of the track. A pretty clean lap from Creamy so far. Now down, DRS open to the line. It's 110.3 to start this session off. Ansu will be next down to the line. As a 110.6 for him. The House of Cthulhu is a 111.7 from him. Big Woods 109.877 for the provisional pole position at the start of this session.
Yeah, I think the times are going to get much quicker, especially on a track like this. It's getting used to the feel, getting used to the bankings, getting used to the curbs, especially. Very incredibly sensitive around here, but just a single touch can send you spinning. But the main concern is, where do you use the battery?
Yeah, definitely. That's certainly something which I feel a few drivers are going to be getting used to at the start of this session. That's like 5 Mega Hype down to the line, the 111.5 just ahead of his teammate Northy. As we have had been in the chat saying the curbs in reverse are a lot more dangerous to go onto around Zandvoort here.
Yeah,
Which is going to be an interesting one.
yeah, it definitely could be. As Atsu had a little bit of a slip up in the final sector of his lap. But he'll get back going again with some grass on his tires. But yeah, again with the battery, it's the DRS zones are completely different. Places where on the normal track layout you'd never even consider using battery could be crucial to get a good lap time in the reverse layout.
Definitely, and Zandvoort being a short track as well. I mean, in reverse, it doesn't seem there's that as heavy of braking zones here, as Arrow to the line goes into third at 2/10 ahead of his teammate, but still a tenth off. Creamier's Nutomatic goes into P9. But yeah, no, as I was going to say, as Nutomatic, as you ride on board, has spun it in turn 1 and found the wall, and he's lucky to have managed to slow the car down enough into the wall. As Big Roots is invalidated, Ansu is on a lap. I don't know what that first sector split was. Sorry, Ansu's there. I looked at Arrow. Ansu almost a tenth of a second up. The Williams ahead of him, slowing him down slightly. As Ansu now rounding the final corner, DRS open down to the line. Can't jump his teammate, did lose time in the end.
Yeah, it's just a matter of where can I gain the most time. Try not to overpush the car. Just keep it steady. Slow in, fast out, of course. They'll all be thinking to themselves, it's still quite early in the session. There's still plenty of time to gain time. I think with time that they will manage to get their bearings.
Definitely, as Bean has said, it's the angles you hit the curbs that can really unsteady the car, and that makes sense because obviously they wouldn't have redesigned the curbs. He'll basically be just designing the grid and sort of just telling the cars to go the other way, kind of thing. I highly doubt they would have redesigned the curbs from the normal, so where you wouldn't normally hit on a curb, you'll be hitting the curb if you make a mistake on this, and yeah, that does make sense of how unsettled the car are more than normal. But Jamie Dwyer down to the line now is a 1:13.8 on the medium compound tyres for him, as Alfie now out on a lap as well. So is Creamy. It's Creamy to the end of the first sector, 0.2 of a second up. So we'll watch Alfie and we'll keep an eye on Creamy as well.
Yeah, the game's been telling me that Alfie's gone purple sector 1 and 2. I'm not sure how much I can trust that, but I'll take it with a grain of salt, although he does seem to be on it right now as he'll come through the final corner. This is the part where most people lose a lot of time. Use all the DRS available and up to the line. He goes 4th fastest.
Separating the two Ferrari cars, but Creamy is just under 0.6 of a second up on his lap. Can he find even more time in this final sector? DRS open now to the line is a 1 minute 10.4, and it's 8.5 tenths gain from the Racing Bulls car.
Yeah, as I said before, we started out with a 10.8, I believe. Now it's a 9.4, and the gap is absolutely huge between the pack. It's 0.4, and then Arrow 1 second off, and it just keeps getting bigger as we go down the pack. It's extraordinary.
Definitely, as I'm trying to work out who's going to be next across the line. I think it's going to be Sci-Fi Meghype, and he's 0.7 of a second up, so the track is ramping up now. I wouldn't be surprised if we could someone drop into the 1 minute 8s.
It's definitely possible. I could see that happening if we could even got ooh. Sci-Fi hits the wall there, coming out of the final corner. That will definitely have an impact on his time. he'll go 7th fastest. Although he was already there, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was already there, but
Yeah.
he lost a lot of time through clipping that wall. He was about 0.8 of a second up, I think it was. The door's open for the cut. Northy retiring from the session now. And I think he's found the wall, in fact. We'll have a look as we... Yeah, he's found the wall. At the end of the second sector, so... That's one driver who... Well, Northy, out of the session. He can start, at best, in 9th position, but 2 drivers, Rossi and Andre behind, yet to have set a lap time. And Jamie Dwyer, who set his lap on mediums, and Nutomatic, who made a few mistakes to say the least on his lap. Both still have to go.
Yeah, so plenty of time, just under 8 minutes. I think this is the part where everyone's going to start just waiting for that 3-minute marker in the pits, getting their bearings, getting themselves ready for that final lap of the session. That's where it all really matters.
Definitely, as Alfie jumps up to 3rd. Andre going to be next to the line. What can he do on his bank a lap of this session? Rounding final corner, DRS open down to the line. There's only P10 for him. Rossi next, rounding that final corner, DRS open to the line. He goes up into 9th, dropping Northy, who's out of the session, down into 10th position. Ansu's going to be next to the line. Yep, because Cthulhu is invalidated. So Ansu now to round the final corner. What can the Ferrari do on this lap as DRS open? So Drag Race still line up ahead of his teammate into 4th position. Big Woods, however, is out on track as well. But so Nutomatics into the pits. So one Alpine who's setting his sights on provisional pole, the other fighting his way out of P13. Big Woods still line, 200ths gained, can't go fast. It's exactly 4/10 off Creamy now.
Yeah, so plenty of opportunities there for Big Woods to find some time. Creamy, he's going to be incredibly happy for the time he's put in. He'll be thinking he's safe. Of course, he will want to come out at the end of the session just to ensure that he can get the pole position. While 2 Ferraris also both in great positions, 4 and 5. However, in the race, could that affect their strategy in terms of pit stops?
I think it depends if they start on the same tyre or if they go different tyres from the start. As Creamy is out for another lap, as on to which Nuto has said, I hate these curbs. Andre has said hello everyone. Hello Andre. And hello to anyone else watching the stream. But yeah, no, as you were saying, I think it very much depends as to what strategy they go. And I think people are coming out as the sky is going greyer and the drivers perhaps know something we don't weather-wise, which I kind of understand it, but I also would prefer if commentators were able to get that information off the weather, so it's just a bit easier to know what's actually going on. But the sky is going greyer and there could be rain near the end, which is why we're seeing a few drivers coming out to do laps a bit earlier than you'd expect to see in the session.
Yeah, Screamy will start his lap. This could be his final lap.
As down into the first couple of corners, taking them pretty nicely.
Goes a bit deep in there, keep the traction steady, don't want to go too hard on the accelerator. So he's down by almost 200ths of a second. Nothing he can't gain. Of course, plenty of the laps still to go, plenty of technical sections as well, which means plenty of time to find. Of course, he is on provisional pole by 0.4 of a second, So even if he doesn't improve, he still has a pretty safe gap to Big Boots behind.
Definitely a 0.017 up through that second sector now into the final sector. This could be a very solid lap if he can pull the final sector together. Into the final corner now. Again, the traction now is foot down. DRS will be open and to the line. It's a 1 minute 9.1 and there's a lot of time in that final sector. Jamie Dwyer will be next down to the line. He finds 0.6 of a second improvement. Time's being found.
Yeah, this is going to be absolutely huge for Creamy. I think it's safe to say he might have pole position unless someone from behind can storm up to the front, as we still do have some drivers in the pits. They might be going as late as they possibly can. Big Boots, Alfie and Ansu, all three of them are in the pits. Ansu begins his outlap, as Cthulhu and Arrow are both on their laps.
Andre is 1.1 up into the final sector now. Not quite taking that corner as nicely as Creamy did, but the Aston Martin into the final corner now. And let's see what this lap can be for him as DRS open down to the line. He's up into 7th position ahead of his teammate by 600ths of a second.
Yeah, I think Andre will be pretty happy with that, even if it's not a top 5 position. P7 still very respectable, and gaining over a second he'll be proud of himself for that.
Definitely, yes. It's nothing to be sniffed as Cthulhu going for another push now after getting himself up into 5th. Took a cool down lap and back on another push lap now. As Nutomatic is into the pits, Arrow's out, Ansu is about to start his lap. Sci-Fi Mega Hype 5/10 or 4.5 up in the first 2 sectors. He's pushing on well as well in this late part of qualifying, as DRS open for the Mercedes down to the line. Up into 5th position, almost a second gained there. Rossi about to start a lap. Jamie Dwyer, I don't know if he's on a push lap or not as Andre retires from the session.
Yeah, this is all going to put Arrow into a bit of pressure now. He's in P7 right now. He took pole by a huge amount last time out. As he pits, he won't be setting another lap time.
That's interesting, as Jamie Dwyer into, say a lap time is still 1:12.2 as Arrow retires from the session. He's really put the pressure on himself there now, as Tech about to start another lap. Ansu on a lap into the final corner now. What can this lap be for the Ferrari currently sitting in 4th? It's up to 2nd. It's still 0.6 of a second off Creamy, however.
But it is still on the front row. An overtake off the start is very much possible here.
Rossi exactly a second up after the first 2 sectors. Is there another half second in this final sector for him? As down to the line, Rossi goes into 4th position.
Arrow
Next
down to P8.
Yeah, and if Pipe Tech can get a good lap, it can be even further down for Arrow. Alfie will be next. He's a 10th.5 down in the first 2 sectors. Can he find time in the final sector? It's Alfie down to the line. Remains 5th. Next is going to be Big Woods, who's 3,000th down in the first 2 sectors. He finds a bit of time in the end, jumps up ahead of Ansu. Pipe Tech next down to the line. Jumps ahead of Arrow. Arrow down to 9th.
Ansu now pits. He will not finish the lap, and that is your qualifying.
That, must admit, I was not expecting Arrow to be starting 9th out of 13 drivers. That is a bit of a shock.
Yeah, it really is. And just like last time out in Belgium, we have a huge gap with 5 tenths. Creamy on pole position with Big Woods on the front row.
Yeah, and Big Woods has showed some good race pace recently, so you wouldn't be surprised if he can try and get the jump on Creamy at the start. But Creamy takes pole over Big Woods, then it's Anso and Rossi in third and fourth, Alfie in fifth, Sci-Fi Meg Hype in sixth, Pipe Tech in seventh, Cthulhu in eighth, Arrow down in ninth, Andre in 10th, there's North in 11th, Jamie Dwyer in 12th, and Nudomatic in 13th. As do you want to go over the standings?
Standings. Oh, would I? Absolutely. So, in the driver standings, the Car Geek is still leading the championship with a 19-point gap to Ansu behind, with Big Roots in P3 and Arrow in P4. We have still, how many rounds do we have? We have 8, I think? No, 6. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4,
8
5.
including tonight.
8 rounds to go, plenty of time to make up the gap. The gap to P5 from P1 is 35, so it's certainly a close grid, but as far as we've seen in qualifying, it's not that huge of a. It's quite huge. What am I saying? It's quite a big gap. The one lap
Yeah,
pace.
I get what you mean. As for constructors, Ferrari have a 21-point lead over Haas in the Constructors' Championship. Then it's Aston Martin in third, Alpine in fourth. Them top three only separated by 25 points. The Constructors' title is still all to be played for, and especially between Ferrari, Haas, and Aston.
Yeah, certainly. Ferrari have really had that consistency. Arrow has been putting in really good results, but in qualifying at least, but he goes into the race, absolutely storms everyone. But then it's in the final laps, as we've seen in the past 3 races, he just makes a huge mistake, spins off the track, and then it ends up being a bottom top 10 finish for him. And it really makes you wonder if those mistakes didn't happen, how big of a lead would Ferrari have had?
Definitely. And it's kind of the running thing with Arrow this season, but he'll be hoping, and I'm sure other people will be hoping for his sake as well, that he finally gets a race where he gets a bit of a break away from having a late moment. But others around him have been able to benefit off it. I think most intriguingly, looking at the standings, Sauber only have a singular point. I've seen teams with 0 points, that doesn't surprise me. But a team with a singular point, I haven't seen in a long time in league racing. So that is interesting. 122 points behind Ferrari. They're not out of the. I mean, no one is out of the championship fight at the moment, with 8 rounds to go. I mean, you'd be very naive to turn around and say that, there's a team out of it after 4 rounds of the season because, they've only scored a point on the 120. Things can happen to teams which can, end up having them throw their championships hopes away.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, when the drivers maybe they have to start having attendance issues, maybe they start going on a slump, they make more mistakes. It can really be anything. Even a single race where you don't have your main drivers is a race where the championship could possibly be lost.
As we're about to go to the 5 red lights now, here tonight in Netherlands. It's the lights out, and we're racing here for the
Reverse
Zandvoort
Dutch one.
Reverse Dutch Grand Prix, I couldn't remember the words. Everyone on the mediums apart from Jamie Dwyer, who starts on the soft compound of tyres. That's an interesting move. Pipe Tech up into first. Is he? No, he's not. Apparently he's in first on my screen. Big Woods is in fact in first. He leads Creamy, who's down to second. Alfie, who's in third. Now is all probably worked out. Pipe Tech up to 6th up the start. That's what I was trying to say. Arrow up a place into 8th position. But Big Woods, as I said, he shows good race pace up into first, and he's already broke that DRS gap to Creamy, who's going wheel to wheel with Alfie. Bit of contact between the two of them. And Alfie now up into second place, and he can set off to try and chase down Big Woods, but the gap is already 1.7 seconds. Third and fourth now for the two racing bulls. Rossi is going to look for a move on the inside of Creamy, decides against it in the end. Ansu on the back of them putting pressure. Arrow and Cthulhu making a Arrow making a pass Cthulhu. Cthulhu had a bit of a spin there and facing the wrong way. He's back going again, but Arrow up into 7th. Andre up ahead of Jamie Dwyer now. Big Woods 1.9 in the lead of this Grand Prix now.
Yeah, but got some issues in the standings there. It says Pipe Tech and Arrow are a minute off the lead. This is really weird. It said Pipe Tech was leading the race at the beginning. Even the standings over on my side are also a bit weird.
Got a lot of EA games. EA, please don't chase me down. It was a good start from Arrow, up 2 places already and trying to get in the DRS of Pipe Tech now. Yeah, Arrow, decent start for him, but the field spread already is insane.
Yeah, it really is. Big Roots really got the start he wanted there. Took the lead on the first sector, I believe, and now he's just gone off into the distance. Gap is almost 2.5 seconds and increasing. This could just be a take position and run away for the rest of the race situation unless something goes wrong.
Definitely, I mean, he could find a wall somewhere. 112.8 for Big Woods, fastest lap of the race so far. As an Alfie, once he got past Creamy, he's already got near enough 2 seconds to Creamy, so Creamy very much under pressure from his teammate now. Creamy, good 1 lap pace, comes into the race pace. Doesn't quite have it, answered a little. Lucan Rossi there into turn 3, decided against it. Rossi just trying to get up ahead of his teammate if he gets the chance, but not wanting to compromise the team's race too much in this early stage. As further back, Cthulhu making it past Jamie Dwyer. The soft tyres of the start for the Williams really not paying off for him.
Yeah, I've noticed Racing Bulls have been doing really well the past couple of races. Their qualifying position was really good here, and then they have lost a few positions. But position 3 and 4 is new to Matic retires.
Oh, he's lost a tyre.
Oh no. Will that bring out the safety car?
I'm surprised it hasn't.
Not even a virtual one.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
It's
really.
very interesting.
We're going into lap
Cthulhu
4.
and Jamie Dwyer having a good battle here for P11. Cthulhu will have the DRS advantage to help him down the main straight. As I mean, Creamy's gaining on Alfie again, so I was going to say, does Creamy let his teammate through? But he's back to gaining on Alfie again, but then he's losing as well. He could try and let Rossi through and let Rossi try and drag him along, but then the problem with doing that is you got Ansu right behind Rossi, who will just try and follow Rossi through if Creamy decides to let Rossi through. So
That's also
holding position, yes, you're costing yourself time to the cars ahead, but you're keeping yourself in 3rd and 4th in this position.
Yeah, it's also a matter of if Creamy wants to let his teammate by, as Ansu is trying to attack the Racing Bulls. Rossi is just putting non-battery and just trying to hold him up as much as he possibly can. It's almost as if he knows he can't outpace Ansu. Or maybe just try to hold him up for Creamy to be able to get away and chase the leaders.
Yeah, I think that's it as well. Because Ansu's very much looking to try and get past the Racing Bulls of Rossi. He doesn't want to be sat behind this. A, eating up the tires by being in the dirty air, and B, losing time to the drivers ahead, and Alfie and Big Woods. But Rossi very much doing what he needs to do. It looks as if he's wanting to get past Creamy, but at times as well, it's just giving Antu nowhere to really go. As Antu loses out to Pipe Tech, Pipe Tech saw Antu going deep, and Arrow is now through as well. Pipe Tech there, seeing Antu going deep, and pounced on that opportunity immediately and up into 5th position.
Yeah, Ansu went onto the gravel there for a quick second, took out a brake markup. That's actually a huge loss of traction. It really loses you so much time. If we got yellow flags for Williams or Jamie Dwyer. Oh wait, no, that's Northie.
Oh, please tell me that's not what I think it is. I think I know what's just happened there. I know what's happened there. Northie's going to rejoin.
Yeah.
And Jamie Dwyer hasn't seen it. He's come round and he's lost his tyre on the Mercedes. As Cthulhu taking this opportunity off a safety car to peel into the pit straight away.
Yeah, that's just poor there from Northie as he went into the gravel again just now. Just not seeing Jimmy Dwyer on the mini-map or in his mirrors as he misses the pits.
That's interesting. Snowtomatic has said car got unsettled and he couldn't catch the oversteer. That's how he DNF'd. Obviously we didn't see the Jamie Dwyer DNF exactly, but we immediately worked out what has happened there. Cthulhu pitting straight away onto safety car for Hards. It'll be interesting if anyone else follows suit and also pits under the safety car.
Okay, so
hard tyres or for any tyres?
I'm okay, never mind. I'm 100% sure that Northie has a broken rear wing. He's spinning out of every single corner exit. Just watch him turn in. He'll go sideways for a bit. Oh, he's taking it slower. But I'm very sure.
Very costly. Yeah, I can slightly see it there.
Yeah.
I mean, he took a good whack to that rear wing from Jamie Dwyer coming around that corner.
Oh,
yep,
yeah,
he's gone again.
Yeah, I think this is the time to retire in the pits.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, if you got rear wing damage, it's just gonna cause chaos, not just for yourself, but for everyone around you. And you don't want to retire because you think, what could I get in this race? But it is best to call it quits, unless it is a case of getting into the pit lane and retiring in the pit lane. We'll have to wait and see if that's the case. But Ansu, interestingly enough, did not pit onto safety car. He's taking track position, and still looks like he's trying to hold out for the one stop.
I'm not sure about this one. 6-lap old mediums against fresh hard tires, especially on a track like Zandvoort, where the tire wear is actually pretty high. It's really begs the question, how long can he hold on to the lead for? I mean, it is pretty difficult to overtake around here, but is it that difficult?
I get what you mean. The safety car is in this lap. As Northie did retire it in the pit lane, as I took the guess would happen. But yeah, safety car in this lap. If I was Ansu, I would have just followed suit of what everyone else did and pit under the safety car. Because, I mean, you're not going to be too much longer until you're having to pit yourself. So take the free pit stop, get it out of the way. That would be the smart choice. Because, I mean, yes, it's not the easiest to overtake yet, but there's overtaking opportunities. And then, you know, if you're not good in the, as he's just holding everyone up here with them older tyres, Big Woods and Alfie already looking to try get past him immediately. Sci-Fi Mega Hype past Arrow. Arrow dropping down to 8th there. And he's now got Andre putting pressure on him. Andre backing out of that, but Arrow going deep, and Andre is going to be up into P8. Arrow down to 9th. Arrow is going to send a lunge down the inside. Bit of contact between them. Arrow gets the better traction out of the corner. Andre going to look to continue battling with him. And Arrow, not a good restart there for him.
Yeah, it seems that also Ansu's strategy hasn't worked. Now he's currently fighting Alfie. Alfie did get damage. That's a big hit. That's going to be weighing damage for Ansu as well as Alfie. I'm sure there'll definitely be reports of that after the race. But Ansu's already down in P3 and falling down quickly. I was going to say at the restart, we've got plenty of laps to go. We'll see how it goes. But it really doesn't seem like it's worked out for him here.
Definitely not worked out for him as...
Oh!
Ooh! Is that a virtual? Or is it, no, that's a virtual by the looks of things. Yeah, that's a virtual safety car, but...
Arrow's lost from
I
wing.
don't know what's happened, but I just see... who's lost the front wing, sorry?
Arrow. He has no front wing. He has the pit now.
Oh, that is going from bad to worse for Arrow. Somewhere, let's go up the Alpine. Sci-Fi Mega Hype, I'm gonna lose it. I mean, I seen the Mercedes going sideways, and the next second, I see the Mercedes out. So that is both Mercedes out of this race. DRS re-enabled, green flag, racing once again. The top two, 1.2 ahead of Ansu now. Ansu gonna be under pressure from Rossi. Then there were 9.
Yeah, I think Sci-Fi Mega Hype just got a little bit trigger happy with the throttle there. It just ends up spinning, collects some people with him. As Arrow will come to the pits for a brand new front wing, but he will be horribly behind. That could be a race ruining incident.
Definitely, as Alfie had a little look on Big Woods there through the first couple of corners, and he's going to push the Alpine through this first sector. And even though he's pushing him through and then battling it a little bit, they still open up the gap to Rossi, who's cleared Ansu and now up in 3rd position, as Ansu now is going to come under pressure from Pipe Tech in behind. And Ferrari, their race goes from bad to worse as it continues on here tonight.
Yeah, I think Arrow was really considering retiring there, but only 9 cars remain. It's guaranteed points, so might as well stay in the race as he spins out. He's currently facing the wrong way of the track. Bumps into the wall. And breaks the DRS
plate
board.
damage from that. He's going to get plate damage from that. It's really going from bad to worse for Ferrari tonight. Rossi with the fastest lap of the race. He's doing a very good job at closing into Big Woods and Alfie here, and if they're not careful, they're going to have another car right on their tail here as well in this battle for the lead.
Yeah, Ansu's still falling down the pack. He's succumbed to Creamy. It's now 2 Aston Martins behind him. They'll be looking to make a move onto him as soon as possible. They don't want to wait behind him on the old tyres.
Definitely not, as I feel the longer you're behind him in this situation, you know, how do I explain? Jesus. The longer you suck behind, just the worse this is going to get. You'll keep dropping position. Arrow in again. Is that for another new front wing? It is for another new front wing after getting end plate damage. Please don't spin it this time.
There'll be a lap down now to the leaders. So
It's going to be a lap down to nearly the whole field. Arrow's race really has not gone the way he was hoping for. I thought that was someone else out for a second, but it's
No.
just Sci-Fi Mega Hype leaving the session. I was really about to say we lose another one. Arrow 1:10 behind Cthulhu. It's a long way to come back now for Arrow, but doesn't mean that his race is over, because he could still do something which no one expects him to do and pull this back. You know, it's unlikely, but it's not out of the question. So
It's never out of
Just-
the question, but it's practically impossible. I mean, for him to even get into a leading lap, he'll need a safety car and then lap the entire field just to even have a chance. Which, and he would have to do that without boxing if he wants to make it in time, and that's just not gonna happen. So I reckon he's just gonna sit in AI for the rest of the race, just maybe make himself a sandwich while he waits for the race to be over.
oh, I'd love a sandwich right now. Don't talk about food. I'm gonna get too hungry. Rossi has lost a fair bit of time over this last lap, but you know, when you get to, you have Rossi, Creamy, Pipe Tech, the gap between those three, the gap between each of those three is quite big, as Ansu making it past Cthulhu, Cthulhu battling it back, getting back ahead of him. Ansu 12 lap old mediums, the mediums he started the race on. He's got to bit at some point, surely. Please. I mean, he's already down to 8. This is a... I'm not going to say it just yet, but I want to say it's a Ferrari masterclass, but it's really not a Ferrari masterclass.
Yeah, Ansu's really gone from hero to zero here. He led the opening lap, well, not the opening lap, but he led the lap when the safety car came in. Now he's on a P8. He's basically last of the pack, but just ahead of Arrow, who is lap down.
Yeah, as a... It's gonna be a long one.
Oh no, you're already yawning.
23. I was at work today. It was a long day at work. It was a long day at work, and I sort of said to one of the people at work, I said the last thing we want tonight for Zandvoort to reverse is for it to be a race where everyone's spread out, and it's gonna be a long one with a few DNFs. I said that's the last thing we wanted, but well, I guess I jinxed that one.
Yeah, we're almost halfway there.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's not been a bad race. I mean, Big Woods and Alfie out in the lead of this race. One of them is gonna have to... One of them's gonna win, unless they both crash.
Do you want to predict on who it's going to be?
I think Big Woods is gonna start pulling away, and I think once he starts pulling away like he is now, I think he's just going to be able to open that gap up enough to win the race.
Yeah.
That's what I feel.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing there. Big Roots has already won 2 races of the season so far, searching for his third tonight. I think it's very much looking to be his way, as it's over a second gap to Alpha behind now. This is really just get your head down, push on to the end. Pray there's not another safety car at any point in the race. You just get on with it.
Yeah, but yeah, hopefully there's not another safety car in this race, as you just said. Pipe Tech and Andre, interestingly enough, they're in DRS of each other, but barely, and Cthulhu is just behind them. Arrow has been closing the gap. He's closed the gap by 7 seconds since he pit again, so he is pushing on. He's staying in the DRS of Creamy. He's pushing on, trying to just get dragged along in some ways. There's Rossi picks up a 3 second time only, but he's sort of getting dragged along, and he's trying his best to. Sorry, yeah, no, he is. He's closed the gap down to his teammate Ansu. I'm getting confused now. He's closed the gap to his teammate Ansu, 8 seconds, closing up to 9 seconds now. He's really pushing on to try and perhaps get P8 in this race if he can, you know. I think that's where he's looking at the moment. Ansu is into the pits now, so we'll see what the gap is when he comes out of the pits.
P8 for Arrow, are you implying that he could make up an entire lap and overtake his teammate?
If he does it,
And if he does make up
I'm actually not gonna. I'm not gonna make any deal of what I'll do if he does it, but I'll tell you after the race. If he does do it, I'll tell you after the race.
Let me see if he does do it, that's definitely like driver of the day.
Oh, definitely with the race he's had so far.
Yeah.
I mean, the benefit now is he can't lose any places from where he started the race. It's a bad thing to say, but it's the truth. As the two racing bulls are close to each other now, so we've been right on board with Arrow. We've watched him catch up as Creamy now does make it past Rossi, and now Arrow to Ansu is 37.5 seconds.
I reckon Arrow's gonna try overtake the two racing bulls, maybe try have a fight with them.
I think the racing bulls are the faster cars. I think Arrow knows they're the faster cars at the moment, so I think he's going to let himself get dragged along by them. I think that's why, because he could have very easily gone for a move on Creamy and made an overtaking Creamy, but he sat behind Creamy and let Creamy drag him along, so I think Arrow knows that they're the faster. Oh, who was that? Rossi.
That was one of the racing bulls.
It's Rossi off the track and missing a front wing, and Alfie now is Creamy right behind him. What's happened there?
Rossi just completely lost it. I have clipped it there. He just completely lost traction, sent it into the wall. He's lost his front wing completely. It's only a virtual safety car.
There's a bit of excitement in this race. And not just that, but both racing bulls are in.
Ooh. It's a good thing that Rossi's going second. It will save Creamy some time. But of course, it will still damage Rossi. He'll lose even more time.
That is... Did Creamy really need to pit there is my question. I'm confused as to why he's pissed, but...
Well, compared to the top four, well, the top four have 11 lap old tyres. I think that's... Now, of course, they are on hards. It's definitely too early.
Definitely. 10-second gain under VSC is what someone's saying. I mean, yeah, it's a 10-second gain under VSC, but depending on when other people pit, they're going to have a tyre offset in their favour for the end of the race, because, you know, we're only just at the halfway point now. About to go into the second half of the race, as Big Root's now into the second half of the race. I think it's too early. Even with VSC, I still think it's too early.
Yeah, still so many laps to go. He'll be at a major disadvantage now. Of course, he will have the fresher tyres, but it's going to be a huge gap to the leaders. It's looking very unlikely that he'll be able to catch back up unless there's a safety car.
Yeah, and, you know, with everyone being so spread out now, I don't think there's going to be a safety car.
With everyone being so spread out, that means there's not going to be any fights, meaning what on earth are we going to talk about for the next 17 laps?
Is it too early to do a season review?
Season review of round 5.
Someone's gone. Cthulhu's gone. That gives us something to talk about. Cthulhu is lost. Cthulhu's dropped down to P5.
Oh yeah, go on, Cthulhu. Give us some entertainment. Creamy goes into P4 now, so track position wise, he's in a good spot. Time wise, I mean, not great.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Sorry, off topic of the race, but I've just sort of seen my phone going mental. I've turned around and looked. I've just seen the Premier League score, and I can't believe what I'm seeing with my eyes right now.
What are you seeing with your eyes right now?
Nottingham Forest 4-0 up on Sunderland at half time.
At half time?
At half time is 4-0. Gap to leader for the undercut is what someone is saying. Gap to leader Creamy 19 seconds behind in closing.
So, as he is right now, if he keeps up with his pace, he will be in the lead of the race when the top three eventually pit. But depending on when that's going to be, by the time they do
Big Woot is in.
Oh. Will the other two follow him in? Will Alfie and Andre follow him into the pits?
I think Big Woots, if I had to take a guess, is covering off Creamy here. If I had to take a guess. That's the only logical reason I can think of him pitting. Is to try and cover Creamy off, but Creamy gets fastest lap of the race, and it's up into third now. But he's got Big Woots just behind him. I'm going to keep this gap to leader open for the rest of this race now.
I have a sneaky suspicion now, whoever that was in the chat asking for the gap to leader may be engineering Creamy here. Or wait, no, sorry, Big Woods. Or the leaders in general. Might be giving them some hits like, hey, you should probably box now before you get undercut. Do it now.
Yeah, and Creamy is now definitely going to undercut Alfie and Andre when they pit. I don't know why I'm switching between the two so much. I don't know what that was about. Apparently Arrow's only 51 seconds off Alfie. Yeah, he's a lap behind. That's confusing. Alfie is in now, and he's going to try to cover off from Big Woods undercutting.
Well, Andre...
Someone had said undercutting Creamy.
So Andre will now take the lead of the race.
Everyone wants in their turn. And someone Creamy fastest lap of the race again. He's well and truly up ahead of Big Woods, and now 2.6 of Andre. Someone had said undercut King Creamy. Cthulhu 10 seconds speeding in the pit lane.
Yeah, we were kind of questioning why Creamy boxed there under the VSC. It's really worked out for him here.
Definitely is Cthulhu out on the medium tyres, and he comes out just ahead of
What was that?
Sorry, I was trying to say Cthulhu in the wall, but I forgot the words, so I just made sounds. Cthulhu's come out of the pit. He's gone to defend against Ansu, trying to make the move into turn 1. I think he's gone too aggressive on the defence because Cthulhu has found the wall.
That's definitely going in the highlight reel.
Oh god, I don't want to watch the highlights now when they're uploaded.
Oh no. Well, I mean, Arrow's now gone up to P8 like he said he would.
Creamy, drive-through penalty.
Oh.
He's made the undercut, but he's got the drive-through. And he's got Big Woods 8 tenths behind that.
Huge.
Aye. That is humongous.
That could have been the win there. A drive-through penalty, that's going to cost a lot of time.
He's going to drop to at least third with it.
Big Woods gets ahead of him on track. But he'll start pulling away. Creamy will be even further behind. The
question is, does he drop just behind Alfie? Or does he drop behind Pipe Tech and Rossi as well? That's the question.
Yeah, we'll have to see, but will Creamy serve his penalty on the first lap, or will he wait?
Good question. Very good question.
He's
He's
already
going to
out
serve it
DRS.
straight away. Yeah, he's going to serve it straight away. I think if he stayed in DRS, I think he would have gone and stayed at Big Woods 111.629 fastest lap of the race. Alfie comes down, flying past him. I think Rossi and Pipe Tech should get him as well. Andre will be close. Andre can't quite get him to Creamy from second down to fifth with that drive-through. He's now got to try and get them places back on track.
Yeah, even with only Big Woods only has like 3 lap older tires, and he was able to overtake him and build a gap over a second in less than a lap. That's insane.
That's just immense pace. If someone has said, "Go on, Alfie." Yeah, Alfie 9.4 behind in second place, but Alfie's been showing good pace. So Alfie, if he can show very good pace at the end, he could go on to try and make something happen here on Big Woods. Just have to see what Alfie can do now. As rounding the final corner he goes as Big Woods down into turn 1. That's the gap at the moment, 10 seconds, but you never know what can happen over the course of a race.
Yeah, as we've seen, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people out of the race, out of the 13. So only 8 remaining. One of them is a lap down. Alfie would need to gain over a second a lap in order to be able to catch Big Woods. I mean, if he does manage to catch Big Woods, he'll have to overtake him as well and stay ahead in 10 laps.
Yeah, that's a lot to ask, but not saying it's impossible, just saying that is a lot to ask of.
He does have
Alfie.
1 lap. He does have 1 lap newer tires, so I'm sure he'll use that to his advantage as much as he can. Although he is still losing time gradually to Big Woods.
Yeah, we'll just have to see how this goes. I mean, he's sitting comfortably in second, so theoretically he shouldn't.
Are you yawning again?
I apologise. I'm really tired tonight. I'm actually surprised. I was meant to be doing a race yesterday and I fell asleep and slept through it.
Oh no.
I had a lobby waiting 10 minutes for me, then they started because they realised they weren't getting through to me. I woke up as the race leader was crossing the line to start the final lap and went, "Sorry guys, I missed it." Was an embarrassing one, but oh, that was so embarrassing. I've never actually done that before. Rossi, Pipe Tech, Creamy, Andre, all very close to each other. Creamy going for a dive. Pipe Tech, can he get the switchback? No, he can't. That was a very audacious dive from Creamy, but he's made it work. And he's up ahead, and now Pipe Tech, with that mistake there, has cost time for the 2 Aston Martins to the 2 Racing Bulls, and Creamy up ahead of Rossi down into turn 1. That was a good last few corners from Creamy.
Yeah, it really wasn't a poor last few corners from Pipe Tech. I mean, he loses the position to the Racing Bulls, and then goes onto the grass and loses the position to his teammate on the main straight, to Andre. And now they've lost a lot of time to the Racing Bulls, so they're going to have to build up to a fighting position once again. But I think something important to note is Rossi has a 3-second penalty, meaning as it stands right now, both the Aston Martins will end up ahead of him.
Yeah, that is interesting. And now the question is it worth Rossi slowing down the Aston Martins to give Creamy that sort of buffer zone for, let Creamy pull away out of DRS and just slow the Aston Martins down? We've seen it already where where Rossi has slowed people down for Creamy in this race. Does he do it again now? That's the big question.
Well, it does seem like he's already doing that. The gap is now 1.3 seconds. As Andre takes a look to the inside, he won't go for it. But Rossi is on none mode in terms of his battery, so he is definitely trying to hold the Aston Martins up a bit. As Andre's going to start to try get a little bit desperate to get past him. Creamy looking for a podium place right now. The Aston Martins struggling to get past his teammate.
Yeah, and this is good team play from Rossi here. He's got the penalty. He's playing the team game, and he'll know that he's going to lose the position. He's going to drop to 6th as it stands, but he'll do what he has to do to get the points or to get the guaranteed podium position for his teammate Creamy tonight. So it's small play.
Yeah. So remember how quite a bit ago I said that if Alfie wants to catch Big Woods, he'll have to gain a second a lap. He's actually been losing a second a lap to Big Woods.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I think it is a Big Woods. I think it's Big Woods.
You think it's Big Woods?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a Big Woods win tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be his third of the season. As long as he doesn't mess up at any point. Of course, only 7 laps to go. This is the final stretch. We've got a back mark. The closest car behind him is a back marker. Arrow in the last place of the running cars, still ahead of his starting position. So there's always some pros to running last place. But of course, 7 and 8. Oh, as Arrow spins. Once
Again.
more. Oh, again.
He's beat.
Yeah.
Oh, I think he's beached it. Yeah, he
Okay,
beached it
he's
on the
reset
go.
the track. So he'll get that by Alfie. Get it moving again, but
I thought Arrow might be able to make an take on track. I had hoped that he'll make an overtake on track. I don't think that's happening.
no.
He's done 21 laps on the hards already, where people have sort of hit halfway through that. You gotta give it to him. He's doing a good stint on the hards. Is it worth it just cutting his losses at this point? Because I get mixed up in my leagues, but I'm 90% sure there's a fastest lap point here in We Have Fun. Is it worth him just going onto the softs and trying to get that fastest lap point for Ferrari? Cut his losses, get an extra championship point. He's not going to lose any positions, and I don't want to sound rude, but I don't think he's going to gain any positions at this point in the race.
Yeah, he could certainly go for the fastest lap point. Maybe he'll be waiting until the end of the race to try snatch it, just in case someone else decides that, oh yeah, maybe I'll also try go for the fastest lap. Well, I guess we'll see how it goes. 21 lap hards. What percentage do you think that will be?
Oh, I don't even know. I don't even want to take a guess.
I reckon it'll be puncture range.
Ooh, very likely it would be.
If he gets a puncture right now, I might just become a genie, or one of those people that tells people their future. I forgot what that called.
I know what.
Fortune tellers.
Oh, that's it. As Andre and Rossi going wheel to wheel, Rossi's doing a very good job here of playing the team game. Andre is going to go to the inside here to Luke. Rossi keeps ahead, and these two Aston Martins can't do anything at this point in this race to get past Rossi. They're throwing everything at it. They're trying to throw late lunges in, everything. They just can't get ahead.
Yeah, you can really tell how desperate Andre's starting to get. They've been banging wheels with Rossi, quite a little bit of contact, but really tell he really wants that position. Of course, he will still gain it anyways with the 3-second penalty that Rossi has. So it would really make you wonder, shouldn't it be Creamy holding up the Aston Martins?
I get what you mean. Yeah, I think it's very much based on the fact that Creamy has showed the better pace throughout the second half of the race. As Andre's going to look to go down the inside, Rossi's going to hold it around the outside, and Andre can't do anything. I get what you mean. Yeah, I would agree with you in that situation. However, I also feel at the same time that Creamy has showed the better pace, and he's the more, you could possibly argue, the more likely of the two, and perhaps it's also a case of Rossi is the better at defence, and they feel Andre is a threat to that podium position, so, throw the driver who's better at defending in, not take as many points as you could away from the weekend, but still, take a podium away. You don't know what goes through the team's head at times. That's one possibility. There's other possibilities as well of what it could be. So
Rossi pits. He bombed out there near coming up to the final corner. He'll come to the pits now. He may be trying to go for the fastest lap.
Very much perhaps.
Yeah, that's a soft tire.
So Rossi is going for the fastest lap point. He was gonna drop down to 6th anyway. He's gonna do it voluntarily to take that extra point.
Yeah, I think Arrows might follow him in. He's on 24 lap old tires. Will even survive to get to the pit lane.
I think the only benefit of Arrow now is he's being lapped. He doesn't have to make it as many laps to finish the race.
No pressure.
This is when he gets punctured going into this next braking zone.
Let's see.
No.
No. Surely he pits. No, he stays out.
Interesting strategy.
Did he go to the end? No, surely not.
He would have had to pit that lap if he was going to go for the fastest lap.
Yeah.
Because his race is going to finish at the end of lap 35.
Yeah.
He won't make it to 36, so... Yeah, very interesting.
Maybe he really is just having a bit of fun. Just having a Friday night drive.
The league is called We Have Fun for a reason, so... Yep.
Yeah, fair enough. And Arrow is the owner of said league, meaning he came up with that.
True, very true. Rossi, 2/10 up on his personal best through the first sector. I don't know what his personal best is, but he's 2/10 up on it.
Arrow's got some traffic behind him. He's going side to side with the Aston. Yeah, Arrow got the Aston Martins behind him. I thought maybe try give them a little bit of a fight. Certainly gave them a little bit of dirty air.
Arrow just trying to have as much fun as he can. 9/10 up in his personal best for Rossi and a purple sector 2.
Ooh.
Rossi is flying here for the fastest lap point. And, well, Big Woods isn't going to be able to come in for the softs because he's already passed the soft finish line, and no point in him pitting now because it won't make any difference. Rossi to the line does take that fastest lap. It's a 1:11.290. So We said that someone was gonna try. We thought it would be Arrow. In the end,
It was Rossi, and he's
it was
taken it
Rossi.
by 4 tenths. The previous fastest lap holder was Big Boots with 11.6. Rossi put in an 11.29. So 4 tenths of a gap to Big Boots, who set it on. I'm not even sure what tire he set it on. I think it might have been the hards.
Hards. It was on the hards,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anti pits.
As a Well, I've just checked the Discord. There's a reason from Cthulhu for the DNF. Pressed LB instead of LT when going into the pits, and then looking behind when coming out of the pits, and then a wall appeared. That's basically near enough what was said.
So
Basically look behind him to see obviously where I think it was Andre or Antu. I can't remember. I think it was Antu. In fact, was behind to not just cut him off, etc. And then ended up finding the wall. That's interesting. But Big Woots started second. He's led majority of the race. He's had an absolutely flying stint here on the hards. Pulled away from Creamy almost immediately. Kept opening the gap up every lap to Alfie. And rounding the final corner, Big Woots once again will win. And this time is in Zandvoort reversed.
yeah, behind Pipe Tech had a little moment. Went up to the grass, remember that. Rossi could actually. No, he couldn't. Maybe he could catch up to him. Probably couldn't overtake him. So we have a Ferrari that stopped somewhere. That's Arrow. Has he spun again? It looks like it.
I think he has. And he's on the softs as well.
Fourth time?
So, Big Woods wins, Alfie in second, Creamy in third, Andre in fourth. Pipe Tech will cross the line for fifth. Rossi will finish in sixth. Ansu's finished in seventh, and then we're just awaiting Arrow to finish in eighth, who, in the end, after the, shambles of a race he's had, he's gonna finish ahead of where he started.
Yeah, double points finish for Ferrari, even if they are the last two out of the running cars. But points are points at the end of the day. Of course, they will lose out a lot of points when it comes to the Constructors' Championship. I think would Haas get ahead? I don't think they would.
I'm going to be honest, I don't want to do the maths in my head right
Neither do I, but Haas and Aston, even if I don't think they would get ahead, but they'll get incredibly close. There'll be breathing distance between the three teams now. These are your podium finishes.
Podium finishes indeed. We'll just get up the final race result confirmation. Big Woods wins, Alfie in second, Creamy in third, Andre in fourth, Pipe Tech in fifth, very good for the Aston Martin. Rossi in sixth, another good race weekend for the Racing Bulls. Then seventh for Ansu, eighth for Arrow. Then we lost Cthulhu, Sci-Fi Mega High, but Northy, Jamie Dwyer, and Newtomatic throughout the race. Next time, it's Bahrain.
As Bahrain is really known for a lot of overtaking, it's also known for a lot of chaos. So hopefully we get the former. Chaos isn't really that much fun. I'd love to see some good racing instead of having a spread out field and safety cars.
As Ty Clear said, Tier 1 has Bahrain on Sunday night. They do indeed. So yeah, that'll be a good one to watch. Tier 2 had it for their season opener. So yeah, Tier 1 having Bahrain on Sunday. I will have a watch of that one to see how that is. But 8th of May is when Bahrain is. So that's what, 2 weeks time? I think.
Is it? It is. Wait, would it? Oh
I
wow,
think.
it is.
Well,
Another week break. Wait, why?
I don't know. Well, we got another week break, so we'll be back in 2 weeks' time for Bahrain. Thank you all for watching. Tier 2's tomorrow night, Tier 1 Sunday night. If you feel like watching either of them, obviously tune in for the commentators and the commentary there. But until next Tier 3 race, hope everyone has a good time and goodbye.